Hello, happy Thursday. Time for another car live. I will be hanging out for the next little bit. As usual, I haven't been live for a while. So, anything is on the table. I'm not sure if my internet is going to stay on. I'm on like a really shaky connection. So, we'll find out. We'll see how long that I'm here to hang out. I don't know, like I said, if it's going to stay on and we'll actually be able to hang out with you all. Or if my internet's just like not going to do it. And then I'll be here for like 3.5 minutes. We shall see. Um, Welcome in, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Like I said, I'm here. I'm on my abuse accounts right now, so I'm here to talk about abuse. I'm a certified trauma recovery coach, so feel free to ask me anything if there's something that you're struggling with in terms of, a situation that you're in right now or something that you're coming out of. If you're out and you're trying to heal from abuse, but you're still struggling with something, there's something you want to understand. Here's the thing that I've realized is when I first left my abuser and I started talking about abuse, there weren't a lot of people talking about abuse. Welcome in, everybody. There were not a lot of people. Like, I can still think of, like, I could name the people who were talking about abuse at the time that I was talking about abuse. And now there are a lot of people out here talking about abuse, and there are people who go live every day, all the time, and they're just talking about abuse and they're educating about abuse, and that's awesome and amazing, and I love it. So I realized that y'all might not have as many questions as you used to when I used to come live. Because like I said, a year and a half ago, a little over a year and a half ago when I first left, there just wasn't that much information out there. And so there were a lot of people coming into my lives. There were a lot of people coming into the lives of the other people who were talking about it at that time. And now there's just a lot more out here. So, but either way, I'm here. If you want my perspective on something, like I said, I'm a certified trauma recovery coach and I'm a survivor of abuse. I'm still out here talking about it, although I am talking about it much less because I'm doing other things. But I'm here. And so, I want to be available for the community. I want to be available for people who are still struggling. So yeah, feel free to ask me anything. If you're in here hanging out, don't be shy. If not, if you don't ask me anything, I'm just going to talk. Let me see. I will start off with, and I am just like, I've been working so much this month at my actual job, which I'm an American Sign Language interpreter, if you don't know, that I haven't really shared much about the podcast from this week. Usually I'm like, podcast is posted, let's share this. This week on the podcast, I talk about abuse in LGBTQ plus relationships, because if you don't know, I am queer, and I experienced abuse in a queer relationship. And I talk about a lot of the little tiny little nitpicky, like invalidating type things that can take place when abuse is happening in queer relationships. So if that's something that interests you, or if you know someone who might be going through that or has gone through that, listen to the podcast. And as always, feel free to reach out and let me know what you think about it. I can't respond to everything I get because I do still get a lot of comments and a lot of DMs and things like that, but I do try to read them all. And if you review my podcast, I do always read that. I always read the reviews on the podcast, and I really appreciate those. But yeah, so that's this week's podcast episode. Like I said, it's about abuse in a queer relationship. It's just the way that an abusive person will use your sexuality, your identity, your past, your experiences or lack of experiences, and all of that stuff to kind of make you feel like crap. So that's what I talked about this week. Today, I recorded an episode about how abusive people can use your children as targets in the beginning and what that can look like. And what are some red flags and green flags to look out for when it comes to that if you're a parent and you're dating, or if you're someone who wants to date someone with kids. Like, there are definitely green flaggy and red flaggy ways to go about doing that, because like honestly, all kids are so precious and we need to be careful with them. And I think a lot of times, you know people don't realize, how do I say this without sounding paranoid? There are a lot of people out there who are predatory, and not everybody is. And you don't have to sit here and think that everybody's bad and that everyone's out to get us. Like, we don't have to be paranoid, but we do need to take things slowly. And we do need to watch out for those green and red flags and just kind of proceed with caution. Any kind of dating situation. Doesn't matter if you're queer, straight, doesn't matter if you have kids, don't have kids. We got to take it slow. And a lot of people don't like that. I get a lot of backlash when I talk about taking things slow, when I talk about love bombing. A lot of people get really defensive of love bombing and U-hauling. A lot of queer people are out here, well, U-hauling is just the best thing. Everybody should U-haul. So yeah, I get a lot of kickback from that. But like, y'all, we need to We need to take care of ourselves and take care of each other. Um, and unlearn a lot of the things that we've been taught about relationships and what's good and desirable and what's actually crap. Hi, Cherry. Welcome in. Hi, Stephanie. Baby gay is the most annoying microaggression. You're not even gay when you don't want to be intimate because you don't feel safe or loved. You're not even gay. You just called me a shit mom and told me I'm the laziest person you've ever met. Now you're trying to force me to have sex when I refuse, then I'm not gay. Thank you for sharing that, Stephanie. That's like a really yucky. Yeah, I talk about that in the podcast this week. I don't know if you listened to it or not, but I think if you want to listen to it, it might be triggering, but it might be really validating because I talk about a lot of those things. And you're right, I did not mention baby gay, but it is. Baby gay is cruel because here's the thing, it's not our fault. We did not choose to come out at 35. We did not choose to come out at 32 or 40 or 28 or whatever. We didn't choose to come out after, straight marriage. We didn't choose to come out after having kids. We just didn't know. Like a lot of us didn't know that we were gay. And so to call someone a baby gay, it's like, honestly, grow up. But the hard part about that is, and again, this is why like sometimes I feel like I don't create a lot of queer specific content because I don't like a lot of the content that I see coming from the queer community. And I'm not like, it makes me so sad. I've talked about this before. Like, I want to be a part of the community. I want to be seen as a queer creator. But a lot of people within the queer community don't like what I have to say because they want to perpetuate these ideas and these terms and things like that. Gold star lesbian, toxic as heck. Baby gay, that's not fair. Let's not do that. Like, there's a lot of that stuff that people are making a lot of content about and normalizing that really like we need to take a step back and realize that like that's not cool. That is not like baby gay is not a way to make someone feel welcomed into the community. Like, hey, baby gay, okay, well, I don't feel welcomed here. I feel like you're like you said, like a microaggression. Like there's so much packed into that, those two little words that you're not saying. You're saying baby gay, but there's so much more that comes with that. So true, Stephanie. I'm so sick of gay/trans people. What are you saying? Amen. And they conquered us. It was a conquest. My identity was a game to you. God, it's so hard. Okay, I'm glad that you're saying this. Because this is another thing that's really hard to talk about. There are a lot of predatory queer people out there, and I feel like it's hard to talk about because other people who aren't a part of the queer community are going to look at that and be like, well, yeah, because the problem is because you're sinning. And the problem is because I'm trying to be careful what I say, because when the wrong people come into my TikToks and I talk about stuff like this, I get reported and I'm not able to go live for a week and I have to complain or whatever about that. But like, there are a lot of people. And actually we saw, it was like in March of this year, we saw a predatory lesbian with a large following who got canceled because she was using her platform to prey on baby gays and to prey on people who didn't know any better and things like that. But that's very much what happens is there are people who are like, I'm going to turn you, I'm going to make you gay, I'm going to this, I'm going to do that. And that's as disgusting and horrible as a man coming up to a lesbian and saying, well, you just haven't found the right man yet. I'll show you, what, you won't be gay anymore if I XYZ. Like, that is predatory and that is disgusting. And it's simply not true. Like, if someone is coming out because they hook up with you or like because they like start dating you or whatever, it's because they probably already had a feeling they were gay and you just happened to be the one who came along at the time that they started to come out. You didn't change them, you didn't conquer them. And if that's what like makes you feel good, like you need to look into that. Labeling with certain terms can be very harmful. Yes, I agree. One of the things that bothers me a lot about labels and people coming out is how there's a lot of pressure for people to choose a label like immediately. Like, you come out and everyone's like, so what are you? And when I first came out, there was a lot of this. If you don't know this, like when I first started using TikTok, I was creating a lot of like content validating other people who came out late. That was all I did. And there was a lot of kickback in that. And they were like, you can't be a lesbian because you've been with men. There was a lot of like trying to force people into boxes and stuff. And now there are a lot more people who do talk about that and who do share their journey of coming out late, and it's more normalized, but still. But there's so much pressure to choose a label. And I have seen a lot of people come out, choose a label, and then change their mind. And like, that's okay. Like, you don't have to pick a label right away. No one else can pick your label for you. Labels can change. Labels aren't even necessary. Like, some people are just like, I don't need a label. I just know who I am and I date who I want to date. My ex-girlfriend used to beat me for not being gay enough and forced me to say I was a lesbian when I identified as bisexual. That is horrible. I'm so sorry. That's the thing, though. That's the thing. Like, there are so many people who are like this. They're so insecure in their own identity, and so your partner's gender, your partner's whatever, the way they dress, the way they look, the way they act does not define you. But there are people for whom it does. And that's not okay, and that's not good, and that's their own insecurity and their own problem. But so, for example, like, there are men who have bi or pan female partners. And hi, Kat, I'm glad you're here because we're actually talking about a lot of queer stuff today. Um, and those men are threatened by the fact that their partner likes women as well. So they're like, again, like, you're not gay, I'm gonna like whatever, blah blah blah, or they fetishize it. And then there are lesbians who like won't date bi people, and are threatened by the fact that their partner is also attracted to men, and blah 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 blah. And like, it doesn't define you. Like, if I date a bi person and they also like men, that doesn't change anything about me. That's fine. You like men, you like women, good for you. Maybe you're pan, you like everybody, good for you. That doesn't change me. That doesn't change what I like. That doesn't change anything about me. But again, there are a lot of people who are really, really insecure, and they can't handle that, and they have to control you, and they have to make sure that nobody else notices you, and they, all that stuff. In fact, I just posted yesterday about, people using pets as pawns. And today I did sort of a reaction to that. I haven't posted it yet because I don't know. I haven't been feeling that good about doing like talking videos on TikTok lately. I'm just like, meh. But there are people who are so insecure that they're literally jealous of animals. And these are the same people who are threatened by their partner's sexuality. Yes, I wasn't allowed to call myself gay. I had to say I'm just or only bi. I wasn't allowed to say I'm a lesbian. Stephanie, I'm so sorry. Are you a lesbian? Because if you are, I'm going to call you a lesbian right now so you feel validated. It sounds like you are a lesbian because that's what you're saying, but like, you are a lesbian. If you say you're a lesbian, then you're a lesbian. And that's like, so the people who are in here right now, we're supposed to be in here because, sometimes we don't talk about queer stuff much at all because there's a lot of straight people in here, which straight people, you are totally welcome in here too. Please feel free to chime in. I don't want anyone to feel like left out, but also we love a good queer space. We love a safe space for our queer folks. And you guys, like, literally, this is what the podcast is about this week. So listen to it because I'm talking about all of this stuff. I'm talking about people, like I said, trying to tell us what our label is, trying to tell us how we can and can't dress. One of the things I talk about in the podcast, I'm going to give it all away, is that when I met my abuser, I had been in a straight relationship, in a straight marriage, and they literally within a couple of days, they were like, you need to do this thing to me right now so that you can prove to me that you are actually attracted to, like, you're actually a lesbian. You're saying you're a lesbian, but I don't believe you because you've been with men, so I need you to do this thing right here. That's not okay. No one should ever be telling you to prove that you're anything. No one should ever be, like, basically saying, you need to do this thing to me sexually right now so that I can be, like, proven, so that it can be proven that you're gay. And then at the end of the relationship, I was too gay because they need a partner to validate their own self and their own whatever. And this is where it comes into that predatory person. They need a partner who looks straight, who's coming out of a straight relationship, who doesn't have a lot of experience, super feminine, doesn't label themselves as a lesbian, all of that stuff. So, like I said, at the beginning, I wasn't lesbian enough. At the end, I was too lesbian. And you know what, y'all? Like, I never say things like, you just need to leave that person, because it doesn't work like that. But if someone is doing that to you, let's start helping you. Let's start getting you out of that relationship, because, like, we all deserve to feel safe. And we get enough crap from straight people. We get enough crap from homophobes, from people outside of the queer community who are looking in and who are blaming us on stuff, who are saying we're doing bad things to kids, I'm trying not to use certain words that are going to, like, trigger people to, like, report me or something like that. But, like, there's a lot of people looking into our community and being like, yeah, you guys are bad. And so, like, when we get it from within the community and we get it from people who are supposed to be safe because they're our partner, no, that person's not safe for you. That person is not your partner. That person is insecure little baby and probably shouldn't be with anybody, but will probably never be alone because they can't stand to be alone. They're constantly looking for people to torment. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm going to calm down now. I'm going to come off this rant that I've been on, and feel free to chime in and make another comment there. Hi, Kat. Welcome in. Thank you for verbally saying this. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what you're thanking me for because, like I said, I just went on a little rampage. I've been ranting a lot today because I'm just in that mood. If you follow me on Instagram on the Lindsay Goodman, which is my like not abuse stuff, that's like my life. That's my travels. That's me and my kid. Although I don't show his face because I respect his privacy as a tiny human. I like did a rant. I did a rant about kids making their grandparents who are 90 pay them for helping out with yards. Like, don't make your grandparents pay you for mowing their lawn. Go mow their lawn anyway. They're 91. My grandpa's a broken elbow. Go mow his lawn and don't ask for money. I ranted about that. I ranted about my nephew being bullied at school by a teacher. And what else did I rant about? I ranted about one more thing today. Oh, people staying friends with abusive people, which, yep, that's abuse related. But if you follow me on the Lindsay Goodman on Instagram, I did a little bit of a rant. So today's a really good day to rant. Okay, Stephanie, you are a lesbian and I see you. Corey, apparently I'm too butch. Oh my God, I can't. Everyone is valid in how they identify themselves, or if they don't have a label, still valid. It's a hill I will die on. Thank you, Kat, and I agree. And if you don't know, I used to validate the crap out of people. That was like one of the things I did. And then actually a problematic creator started copying my content. That is a hill I will die on too, although I don't say it publicly. And started validating bi women and validating late in life lesbians and validating like whatever. So I stopped doing it. I'm not competitive. And I'm not like followers driven or sales driven. Like I don't make money from social media. And I'm not going to like, if you're going to like be the platform that does this, I'm not going to compete with you. I'm not going to do it. Like I'm just not going to. But I used to have merch that said valid on it in rainbow colors, and that was like my brand for a little while. And then I came out and started talking, about the abuse and everything like that. I left my abusing and started talking about abuse, and I kind of let the valid stuff die. But like, yeah, that used to be what we did, right, Kat? That used to be what we sat here and did. So this is like a throwback to like 3 years ago. But here's the thing, and I just came out with this information recently, was that I realized that part of why I was validating queer people so much was because I needed to validate myself. And I said this in the podcast as well. Like, I'm so glad that I was doing that at the time, that I was validating other late in life lesbians, that I was validating other queer folks. It was never a waste of time. It was never a waste of energy. I'm so glad I did that. If I had more time and energy, because now I'm talking about other things, I'm sharing more stuff about being a parent. I'm sharing more stuff about traveling. Like I'm just in a better place and I'm happier. And I will always be. I am queer. I will always talk about queer stuff. It's just not the only thing I talk about anymore. And I will always be an abuse survivor. And I will always validate survivors and call out abusive people and enablers and all that stuff. But I made a lot of that content because I needed to validate myself because of what I was going through at the time, right? And it's just yucky, y'all. It's because I use a Snapchat beard filter and she keeps demanding I tell her if I'm trans. I mean, I also like Snapchat beard filter, and I'm not trans. I'm cis. I love a good mustache. For a long time on Instagram, I always had that mustache on, and I was like, I actually like I don't want a mustache in my actual human body, but like I like this. Like I just played with it all the time. And Corey, I don't know if you are or are not trans. You do not say anything here, but if you are, she needs to calm that down because it's your life and it's your timing and it's your whatever to come out as transgender if you want to this person. I don't know if she's safe or not. And if you aren't, she needs to leave you alone. Like, stop. Like, whatever she's got going on. Oh, I finally caught one of your lives again. Hi, welcome in. I'm glad you're here. Yes, I know. I don't go live that often. It's been sheer chaos since I got back from Europe. How young are you? Your skin is so clear. I'm actually not young at all, but thank you. I have this little hematoma, I think, that I got when I was pregnant, and it never goes away. And sometimes it bothers me, but like it's just a part of who I am at this point. But thank you. Oh, I didn't say how old I am. Does anyone want to guess how old I am? Who was it? Oh, my pole instructor the other day. I told her how old I was, and she was like, and she showed me how old she thought I was, and I was like, you're my best friend now. But I'm curious. If you know how old I am, don't say. We both know it's 100% true. Absolutely. I had some of my friends that know them verify that they were stealing my content. Is that what you're trying to say here? Other people know? Oh my gosh. It was really there was one, if you remember, that was like blatantly exactly the same as mine. And there was one person who I remember, it was right around the time that I first blocked them, that like, and if you don't know who I'm talking about, I'm so sorry, that they made a video. So I made a video and someone said, "Oh my gosh, your content's just like at this person." And they said, "Oh yeah, isn't it ironic that like Lindsay's content looks like mine?" And I called them out. I messaged them and I was like, "You need to fix this because you literally are copying my content." And they fixed it. But like, other than that, they never admitted. Like, here's the thing that happened was this person just wanted followers and numbers and all that. And they saw some of my videos that got a lot of views and to you about it, and I was like, this person is literally copying me and this is annoying. And I did block them because I was like, copy someone else, I don't care. But like, I'm not the kind of person that's like, oh my gosh, this person's still like, I don't care. It's just social media. Like, you are here trying to find validation and attention, and like, I'm just gonna live my life. Like, I'm either gonna make content or I'm not. I'm on the wrong time zone. It's 1:30 a.m. here. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Oh, when school starts for my son, so my son is homeschooled, but he goes to a okay. Okay, I might okay. He goes to a homeschool program for a couple hours a week, and when he does that, I do try to go live, so it'll be early in the day, so maybe you'll be able to catch me then. Yes, I don't remember what I was talking about, but thank you. I know people who use the cat filter doesn't make them a cat. Oh, I love that. You're right. I refuse to be silent about the creator that abused me. Um, I don't know if we're talking about the same person, but you do not have to be silent about that person. I'm just not naming names because I mean we absolutely can. If anyone else in here knows who we're talking about and you want to name names, then we will roll with it. Um, but that's just not what I do. If you've ever like y'all have heard me talk about my abuser, and some people, especially people on Instagram, like know what my abuser's name was and know what they look like. But it's like for me, it's not trash talking because it's real and it's true and it happened. I just like don't give details about my abuser because like I don't want to and I don't need to, and like that's not the point of it. Like for a while when my birthday video went viral the first time, people were like, who is this person? And they were searching my accounts trying to find like what my abuser looked like, and I'm like, you guys, that's not the point though. Like, I get it, you're curious, and like I wouldn't want to accidentally date that person, like if I live in the same area and find that person and then be like, oh my gosh, you gotta say like sorry. But like that's not the point. The point is the actions. The point is that we all come together and pay attention to what abuse can look like and what victims can look like when they've been abused, and like pay attention and learn from it. The point isn't the person and what they look like. Demi asexual here. Love my demi friends, love my ace friends, love my trans friends, love my non-binary friends, love you all. She's young and beautiful. Don't let her fool you. Oh, I do pull too. Oh my gosh, I love pull so much. I have to delete my comments. Okay, I'm not going to read the rest out loud. But yes, do whatever you need to do. And I'm not going to say your name anymore, just in case. Yes, some of their ex mods. Okay, cool. So people who followed me as well and saw that, and at the time, like maybe didn't put it together, but like that's pretty cool. Thank you. It's validating. It's one of those things where like I didn't need the validation because like I knew what was happening, but it's also nice to hear that like other people saw it too. You know what I'm saying? Because as a survivor of abuse and like childhood emotional neglect and gaslighting, manipulation, a lot of times we second guess ourselves and we're like, am I dramatic? Am I making this up? Was it just a chance? But like, no, that really was happening. Any advice for getting over heartbreak? 2.5 years, and I feel completely lost right now. Um, yes, thank you for asking me. A lot of people don't like my advice because one of the biggest things I say is to be alone. And by that, I do mean to stay single. If you, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but this is my advice. You asked for it. Stay single. Don't date. Don't get on the apps. Don't lean on somebody as a crutch. I did that when I first left and it didn't get me anywhere. I had a couple people that I leaned on for crutches. Two of them, and I'm going to name their names right now, were actual friends. Kat, who's in here right now, and my friend Landon. Um, And that I don't feel like was too bad of a thing because they actually were very supportive and like they could tell when I didn't need them anymore because I still talk to them, but I'm not texting them constantly trying to work through stuff. And Kat and I have talked about that. And Kat's like, I love that you don't have to lean on me anymore. But what I'm saying is like, don't try to just like talk to another person to try to get over it, because that doesn't help. That's just a band-aid. But also actually be alone. And I know that it sucks and I know that it hurts, but the more that we can lean into being alone, like I'm not telling you to turn into a hermit. I'm not telling you to just like sit by yourself and cry and be miserable. But like one of the things that really helped me was to learn to love my own company and to enjoy being alone, and like to realize that it's a gift, because you get to learn about yourself without someone else trying to tell you how to live and what to do and what not to do. And just really honor this healing process for yourself. I can say more. I have lots of ideas. Oh, they're moving a plane. Nope, different person. Okay, I'll name drop. Name drop who was private. Name drop who was copying, maybe in private. Kat, up to you. Yes, Lindsay. Yeah, I don't know who. I always forget what I said because I talk so much in between reading comments. Same person who was outed in May for abusing women. Yep. I pulled for 6 years too. Yes, I just started. It's been about a year and a half since I started doing pull, and it's been a really awesome part of my healing journey. And so that's another thing about healing that I want to throw out there is not right now. You don't have to force yourself to do anything right now, but slowly over time, start doing things that you did before the relationship and start doing things that you've never done before, but you wanted to try. You always wanted to try pottery, go to a pottery class by yourself or with a really good friend if you feel safe. But like, don't just grab someone you kind of know just to have another body there with you. Like, go by yourself. Um, and start doing things for you. Pole is one of those things I did for me, and it's been incredible. Awesome advice. I agree so much. It's been almost 8 months. I feel almost ready to be open to meeting someone again. Thank you, Stephanie, for loving my advice. I'm really proud of you. 8 months is awesome. I feel I'm almost ready, and I love that you said I'm almost ready, because you really do, like, you start to realize, like, like maybe you start to think about dating and you're like, you know what, no, I don't like the way that's feeling. Like, you pay attention to how you feel. Your intuition is like, you know what, no, we're still not ready. Like, mine is still not ready. And it's not necessarily because I am still healing. And were I to start dating right now, there would still be things that I would be like, I'd have to work through. Although I'm not like, when I first left, like, I could not have conversations with people without getting like all weepy and scared. Like, I was just like a little, I mean, I healed publicly. I was on Instagram on my stories when I was in Spain with my son, and I would come on and I would say, oh my gosh, I just remember this. And I was healing out loud. Someday I will go back and I will post those as like YouTube videos or something like that, because I think it's really important. And I'm glad that I did that. But what was I going to say? Oh no, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, but I'm not ready to give up my freedom for anybody. Even if someone's who's super chill, who only takes up like a fraction of my time every week or whatever, like, I am not ready for my own, like, you know what I'm saying? So that awareness of being like, I'm almost ready. Like, I'm starting to feel like I might start to get curious about who's out there again. I love that. Where's the link to book a session again? So you can go to my website, thelindsaygoodman.com, and click on the coaching tab, or you can go straight to calendly.com/thelindsaygoodman. And that'll have my availability on there. And then also you can pick like what package you want, because I do 30-minute sessions. Like, if you just want to meet with me, tell me your situation, see if we might be a good fit, that 30-minute session is good. If you're ready to dive in, 30 minutes isn't enough time to talk. Some people just really need to be heard. Some people really need to listen for a while, and they're like, no, 30 minutes isn't enough. I have 60-minute sessions. And then I also have a 6-week program, which is tailored to you. So yeah, definitely check that out. thelindsaygoodman.com. Very problematic creator. Yes, indeed. Oh my goodness. I've been talking a lot today. Like I said, recorded a podcast episode, ranted on my Instagram stories. It's scary how far problematic creators can get. That manipulation and that masking is a very real thing. And when this all came out, I did a couple of TikTok videos. It was around May, right, Kat? It was before that. It was like March or April, because it was before I left for my Europe trip with my son. and I made some videos about like how this can happen, like how creators or people in a position of power, they don't even have to be that special of a person, but how they can get away with doing this kind of stuff and how they can build such a large platform and things like that. My problem is I don't like anyone after abuse. Me neither. Um, to be honest, I have met, like, when I'm traveling, I have met some beautiful, amazing, safe people who I'm still in contact with. We're friends. We don't talk very much, but I've met some really healthy people who I'm like in a different world at a different time, maybe. But like, yeah, like, I don't care who you are. Like, I just, like, I'm not interested. Um, I think for me, I think that the odds of finding someone who genuinely is healthy, who has put in work and is willing to continue to put in work, because nobody is healed. We are all healing. The world is always changing. We're always discovering more things about ourselves. Like, you have to be willing to stay aware and to be honest and, with yourself and all that stuff. And like, who's independent and likes to do things on their own. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh, sometimes I wish I had someone to travel with. And I'm like, no, I want someone who's okay with me traveling by myself. Not okay, loves it. And I want you to travel by yourself. Like, see you later. You got your life, I got mine. Like, we'll come together here and there. Also, like, I'm raising my kid. You're not a part of it. Maybe you meet him at some point. Like, does that person exist? I don't know. Probably not. Also, I don't know. I've spent a lot of time in relationships with people who honestly really aren't that interesting to me. Like, I'm not going to say it right here, but there's a lot of things that I find more attractive about someone, more interesting and things like that. And I've never dated anyone like that because I always end up with like the same kind of person. And like, to find someone like that with plus those extra interesting things, I don't think so. By the way, it's that you speak another language. I don't care what language it is, but like, be bilingual, be trilingual, be a polyglot. I love that about you. Love to travel. I love that. Where are those people? They don't exist. I've lost a few friends since calling them out. I might regain my soul sister, but I don't know yet. You know what though? That's part of it. When you start talking about abuse, people don't like it. People don't believe survivors because they don't want to. People want to believe the abusers because the abusers are so good at masking. I hate being alone right now. Been hooking up with different women every time I'm kid free just to avoid it. The awareness that that's what you're doing is everything, because there are people who will just go out there and hook up and they're escaping and they'll cope with drugs, alcohol, sex, buying things, getting tattoos, like whatever it is, your drug of choice, so to speak. But they're not aware that they're running from pain. Like, they know that they're not happy and they know like whatever, but they're not able to slow down and be like, I'm literally doing this because I don't want to be alone and because I like whatever. So you have the awareness, and now it's time to, I don't like to tell people what to do, but you can fill in the blank. We believe survivors in here and don't side with abusers, even if that means losing a supposed friend. Yeah, I will lose everybody. I will literally be absolutely 100% alone before I will tolerate any kind of abuse, like enabling or like victim shaming crap. Like, goodbye. If you're not willing to listen, it's okay if you don't know. It's okay if you don't know that you're enabling abuse and you don't know that like whatever. But as soon as the survivor starts talking and as soon as the survivor starts explaining to you why that's not okay, if you're not willing to listen, you're out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what we don't know. It's the same as if you were accidentally racist because this is what you taught and whatever, and you say or do something racist, you need to listen to the people or homophobic who are telling you why that's not okay. You need to listen. You need to be respectful and you need to be willing to learn. And if you're not, sorry, bye. Like, this is why it's homophobic and damaging and horrible to say, love the sinner, hate the sin. Homophobic, damaging, not good. You're not being an ally. You're not being loving. That's horrible, right? You need to be able to listen. You didn't know that was a bad thing to say. You didn't know that was homophobic, but you need to be able to listen. And if you can't, deuces. Lindsay, I can't thank you enough for existing and speaking out. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for thanking me for existing. No, I don't know if anyone's ever done that before, so thank you. Um, I wasn't always like this, which a lot of people know because they were here when I first started talking, or before I started talking about it. I wasn't always like this. I've come a very long way, so thank you so much. And like I said, like I'm not able to do as much activism and speaking out and supporting and all that stuff as I would like to be able to do, but I got a little guy and he's only going to be little for a while, and I've really cut back because I want to spend time with him and be more present with him. But I'm always going to be here when I can to support the communities. All right, I got to get going. I have to work early tomorrow. Thank you for holding space for everyone. Thanks for being here. I hope you get some good rest, and hope to catch you next time on live. This has been a good one. What's your opinion on women who lied to men about being pregnant? You mean like faking a pregnancy to like lure you in or something like that? Or like we're pregnant and didn't tell you? There's one girl I've met that I've hooked up with a few times now, but we talk all day. Ooh. Oh, now I'm cold. I was like sweating an hour ago, and now I might roll my window up. It's like really breezy. Calm down. I can't tolerate anything less than like 75 degrees and sunny. Like, I have goosebumps right now. Oh, really tired. Just like friends and go on dates, but neither of us wants a relationship. I mean, that's fine, You do you, like, whatever. As long as, like, it's what you want to do that. If it is like a friendship thing and you're not, like, using it to, like you said, like, run from it, there's nothing wrong with that. Hi, Ava. I don't know if you're still in here, but hello. This has been a really good live. Talked about a lot of stuff. Went on some rants. How long have I been on here? 37 minutes. Okay. All right. What time do you go back? I have like 45 minutes. I don't think I could hook up more than twice if we didn't get on as friends too. Like it's chill, but also feels like we're both using each other. So it's okay to use each other if you're both on the same page and you're both like, hey, like we're literally just trying to have sex here, like nothing else. It's not okay to use each other if one person doesn't want to be used or one person doesn't like isn't here for that. You know what I'm saying? Oops. Sorry, I'm just tackling something really quick. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Okay, there it is. No, I'm not a couple. What are you thinking? Here's another thing that I would like to talk about more if I had more time and like had more like ability to organize my when things slow down for me, I would like to organize my content and be like, what do I really care about and what do I really want to talk about? Okay, let's make some content about this. But the way that society is so obsessed with couples and when it comes to like marketing and branding and collabs and you know showing queer people or showing like if it's straight people, it's all about couples, and that's just ridiculous because like we're still sending this message that it's better to be in a couple, and then you have people who are staying in relationships because they don't want to be seen for other reasons too, but they don't want to be seen as less than because they're alone, because people are like, why are you still single? Like when I left my abuser, there were literally people who were sending me accounts of people of other creators, and they're like, you should date this person. And one of them was literally the abusive creator that got called out on TikTok a couple months ago that we were just talking about. And I had already had a run-in with them, and I was like, I'm good, actually. Like, I just left an abuser, and you unknowingly sent me a video of a toxic person because you think that I shouldn't be alone. Like, we still as a society think that people need to heal in relationship. And yes, some people do heal in relationships. Sometimes you find that really safe person and you're good and you heal. But like, you can also heal alone, and healing alone can be a beautiful thing, and being single can be a beautiful thing. And like, again, society is like whack. Like, man, my gray hairs are like really showing right now. Someone want to call me young again? Because look at that. I dyed my hair twice. Once when I first left my abuser, and then like a year later. I just like don't want to spend money on it. And then like after I dyed it the second time, she dyed it way too dark. Like, she was like, that's your natural hair color. And I'm like, no, my natural hair color is really pretty. I love my hair color. And she made it really dark, which was also really pretty. I did like it, but I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this anymore. But sometimes when I look at it, I'm like, oh, like, we're really gray at this point. Girl, I have been stuck on watching documentaries about the Tudors for days, reminded of you. Oh my gosh. So I just devoured a book it's a brand new book about Anne Boleyn and Elizabeth I. Please read it if you're a Tudors fan. It's amazing. And then I just listened to another one about Elizabeth I and Catherine de Medici. And then I started a book about Henry VIII. Like, this one's a novel. The other two were like literally like the history books where they're like, and then Anne Boleyn walked in and she was wearing a gown of, whatever, with sleeves of cloth of gold, with like, they just describe like every single detail of these people, and it's like 10 pages of like describing their outfit because they actually wrote these things down. And I'm like, this is the best book ever. And other people would be like, I can't, why are you doing this? I need to, like, whatever, on a date night with my girlfriend. Oh my gosh, have so much fun. You is a youngin. I don't know. Is that the one you posted to your Instagram? I think so. Love you. Keep going strong. Thank you so much. Love you too. Nice to see you in here. The book about Anne Boleyn. Yeah, it's just called Elizabeth I. Anne Boleyn and Elizabeth I. Elizabeth I. I think some things you need to heal in a relationship, but most you have to do solo. Okay, thank you. That's very true, because here's the thing. If we avoid all our triggers and all our connection with people and stuff like that, you're not going to heal it. So for example, where I'm at right now, I've been single for 2 years. So there are going to naturally be some things. So if I start dating someone tomorrow, that I'm going to have to work through, right? Because I have not been in a relationship and I have not tried to be in a relationship. So there will come a time, if I decide to date someone again, like, I literally might not, I know I'm only 35, but like, I don't care, that I will have to work through in, with another person. But at the same time, also maybe not, because you do also have to navigate friendships. Like, there are things with my mom, there are things with my sisters that can also be stand-ins for dealing with, healing from an abusive partner, because it's that relational interaction. But yeah, absolutely. Like, if you just isolate yourself and avoid all your triggers, yes, you can heal some. Like, you can take the power away from a lot of them, but also, like, you're not being triggered, so you don't really know if it's still in there or not. If so, I screenshot it and saved it to my Goodreads. Yes. Okay, good. Yeah, really good. Really, really good. It like has both of them on the cover, like their little portraits. I'm trying to get back into hobbies, including reading. We're calling it my summer of self-discovery. I love it. Please tell us more if you have more to share. I love that. That should be like, everyone should just have a summer of self-discovery. I've been reading a lot this year. I've been doing a lot of audiobooks because I drive a lot for work. So I do, like I said, like, devour. Like, if it's an 8-hour book, I'm finishing it in 3 days. So far, it's just been going to genealogy club and classes. But you're going like in person, or is it on the internet? Because either way, that's awesome. But if it's in person, that's even cooler. I love that. It's been a really good live. Like, again, thank you. Like, I really enjoy. Like, not every live is going to be this like intense and we're talking about all this stuff, but like, when we get those lives, like, I love it. Next in the list is the photography club and linguistics series at the library. I love that. Yes, that's a stipulation. It has to get me out of the house. I love it. I think that's the thing. Both me and my new friends with benefit can communicate that we know we got stuff to work on. See, and that's the thing. Like having that awareness, being honest with yourselves and with each other, giving each other the space to do that and not like pretending it's not there. Though on our own, otherwise we'd be toxic AF in a relationship. Yeah, for sure. Love that. All right, you're done. You're not gonna load. All right, this can go down. All right. I think I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. I have a couple little things that I want to do before I go back into work for the evening. But I will be back at some point. So yeah, thanks for everyone who does hop in when I go live. Like I said, I know I don't go live very often, but I always appreciate you all hanging out and hearing what I have to say. So yeah, take care of yourselves. Listen to this week's podcast. It's about queer stuff, queer abuse. So check it out. Okay, bye.